Hi there guys and welcome back to Tykes TV. Thank you for joining as ever. Happy Friday to you all. Hope you're all looking forward to the weekend and of course the game tomorrow down at Oakwell, the last game before the international break against Birmingham City. We previewed that yesterday with Dave and Andy. Please make sure you go out and check that video out if you haven't already. I think it was yesterday, and it's come on the club website that what our owner Paul Conway has come out, gave a big update on the situations all over Oakwell and Barnsley Football Club, etc. And I think I can't remember quite the last time we actually had a big statement off Paul Conway, to be fair, and giving his overall view on everything like that and thanking the fans, etc. We're going to go through that this afternoon. Before we do though, please drop a like and subscribe, and of course get the comments in and let us know what you think on Paul Conway's statement to the fans about the club, etc. All this and that, and yeah, hope you enjoy the video, guys. So yeah, getting straight into it. Obviously, I think there was a fans forum yesterday. I think was it yesterday, the Supporters Trust or whatever, where the questions were thrown at Paul Conway, etc. Obviously, I didn't know too much about it. I only saw it on social media that this was happening. So basically, he's basically introduced by saying, I just want to start by thanking all of you for being here and by thanking all our fans for the amazing support, particularly over the last 20 months. It's been hard for Barnsley. It's been hard for everybody. But through your support, we've been able to get through this challenging period even stronger. We're in a situation where we've been able to keep all of our starting players who are under contract. We've been able to sign 4 players already to long-term permanent deals. Without your backing, we wouldn't be in this position. We feel we've been able to strengthen as a club and even more competitive with it, and be even more competitive within the championship. So obviously that's how he started off. So it's really nice to see him thanking the supporters, for their support. And it has been a challenging 20 months, from March last year. The club, not just Barnsley, but all clubs had the same issue of losing revenue due to there being no fans there and stuff like that. And we really did show our support. It wasn't the same watching it on iFollow. I was a big critic of that. I hated iFollow, to be fair. We saved money by not obviously travelling to those away games, but there's nothing better than being in that stadium on a match day at 3 o'clock when there's kick-off, QPR for example. Even though it was on Sky, we still travelled down. Lots of fans still travelled down at a hefty ticket price as well. We show our support and everything like that, and that's something that's been missed over those 20 months. So obviously he was asked on recruitment. Now the recruitment side of things, what I know about this statement is that the recruitment has been, apparently we have 3 players lined up as such, and we'll get into that and talk about that in a bit more detail. But recruitment for me this year, my personal opinion, I think it's been okay. I think we've done very well not to lose players, your stand-up players, your Helix, Woodrow for example, other players like that. And I keep saying it, and touch wood, it doesn't happen, but I hope nobody comes in for Alec, and I'm surprised nobody already has, because he's such a massive part of this squad, big character, and to have him still here and still be in that back line is wonderful to see so far. But in terms of recruitment players coming in, there's 2 Belgium strikers, Obi Alare and Leia Asika. They're still, not to feature, and we'll get talking about them as well. So, Paul's had this to say on recruitment. We really need players who want to play for Barnsley, who want to be at our club. And during the process this summer, we've been looking to strengthen our squad. We've had some really interesting situations. We've reached agreements with 3 different Premier League clubs for 3 players who we felt would be ideal for us in terms of their talent. One of those players told us we need to pay him 40% more to play for Barnsley. That was a short conversation. The second one basically told us he didn't agree with our style of play, that we need to change if we wanted him to come. Again, a very short conversation. The third one is the funniest one. We had a signed transfer agreement. We'd agreed personal terms. We'd done the medical, and the player was scheduled to do media press before signing the contract. And then the player just drove away. We were like, where did he go? And he'd just left the club and got in his car and left. But that's probably a good thing because it shows he wasn't the right player for our football club. The most important part of any transfer is knowing the player is happy to be here and play for Barnsley. But they also need to fit into our wage scale because we are also only one of two clubs in the division who balances its budget. And of course, they have to be reasonable transfer fees. So the four players we've signed at this point were all wanted to be here. Josh Benson moved down from the Premier League. That's a good sign for us in terms of confidence shown in our club and what we're trying to achieve here. Aaron Leirasika and Obi Alari have taken reductions in their salaries to be here. They just want to play for Barnsley. So Paul's really on the money there in terms of wanting the right player. And you know, he does hit the nail on the head. You know, if they're not willing to be here, jog on, do you know what I mean? And like he says, there were short conversations. If they're not willing to be here, if they're not willing to, you know, adapt to how the club and how the philosophy works in terms of wages, etc. You know, listen, we've been a big critic on here. I've said it, you know, pay that little bit extra for players and certain, but certainly if players are demanding huge amounts of money and if players are demanding that they get a massive pay rise or don't like the way we play, then that's tough. You know, you're obviously not going to sign. So I think Paul's really there on the money in terms of that. You know, obviously nothing's come out. We don't know who these players are. We don't know which Premier League clubs they are. That's probably going to remain undisclosed, to be fair. And he also talked about the visa issues. And I listened to him on Radio Sheffield talking about these visa issues, where we're basically saying, you know, anywhere else in you know, they can go the plane straight away, etc. In England, of course, it's a lot different. So he put, we don't speak up much as a board, but when we do the topic, when we do, there are topics that are ridiculous or make no sense. We will speak out and go public with our thoughts. Obi, I really feel for him. The Home Office told him to go back to Belgium and he'd get his visa and then he'd be ready to train with the squad, play for Barnsley, and 18 days later, he's only just got it today. So Obi has got his. And from what I can gather, he's not fully fit, which is understandable because he hasn't played any football. You know, I'm not sure how it works. I mean, I read that they were training separately, Leirasika and Obi Alari from the squad. I'm not sure how, you know, how it would affect him training. Obviously, it must do. It must come into play there. So, yeah, that's obviously an issue there. But hopefully, you know, now we can get him fit in the next few weeks. Obviously, the international break coming up is going to be a vital part of that, gaining match fitness, etc. Football in the UK is an important industry. We are big taxpayers, and so to have this random process where we don't have the best practices, so it's clear that once you've submitted everything, you'll get the visa in 1 day, 5 days or whatever. It's a complete joke. We sent a few of our young academy players to Denmark, and they got their visa within a day. But Obi now has his visa and is on his way back to Barnsley. And I think with Aaron, it'll be within the next week. But the frustrating thing is seeing Man United and Chelsea sign foreign players, and then within 3 or 4 days they're in the squad. That is just not right. And because we intend to continue the recruit internationally, we will be working to make this situation better for everyone, and that's where we've been speaking, and we'll come being very vocal on this because something has to change. There has to be a standard procedure. Again, I can't disagree with him on that. You know, he is right, and he's talking sense in the sense that, you know, the players there, why is it different there? Obviously with Brexit and that, it's all different. You know, I'm not going to get into that situation talking about Brexit and everything. But yeah, it's awkward. Obviously you're going to have a couple of issues when you sign international players, but for it to take this long really is a joke, and it should have been sorted. And you could see how light we are on the bench, etc. I think the starting 11's fine, the bench obviously, and we have still got players coming back. Somebody mentioned it in the comments on the preview that the bench, there is still players to come back at 100%. There is, we know that, but I still do think one or two, and I think he did say on Radio Sheffield, Paul Conway, that we are looking at getting one more player. Maybe that might be the left back, but certainly midfield area to help Benson and to help Palmer or Styles or whoever plays in there. That would really be my main focus, to be honest with you, because we have got Ben Williams, we have got Callum Styles who can play there if needed. So I think certainly that holding midfield role, that City midfield, because certainly I don't think Apo Arm's capable of playing there over a season. Jasper Moon, of course, they both came on and had sat in there on Saturday in midfield, and it was just a total shambles. So certainly that area is something we need to get. Obviously, it's Barnsley. When it goes to deadline day, the social media team, they love the pen emoji, all this and that. So yeah, we'll obviously see. And then he went on to talk about the situation with Oakwell and everything like that. So I'm not going to get too far into the Oakwell situation. I struggle to understand what's happening really with Oakwell, to be honest with you. I think that's something that's gone on too long as well and needed sorting. Yeah, it's all on there, guys. The main points, of course, is the recruitment side and the visas with the players. That's what I wanted to focus on today. But it's all on the website, and there's obviously videos on social media, etc. of Paul Conway just speaking to the fans yesterday down at Oakwell, and yeah, really, obviously an update like that, every now and then is always nice, and nice to see him thanking the fans for the support. Like I said, I would like to have seen a few more players, but obviously if what he's saying is true about those 3 Premier League sides, players coming down and obviously demanding stupid money, and then driving off and not wanting to be here. It's no lie. From day one when he's been here, Conway, he's always said, players who want to play for Barnsley, that's fact. There's videos of him back in 2019. Even when we interviewed him, I think he mentioned players who don't want to be here will go. So, yeah, he wants players here who are going to commit to the club. And, I think, when you think, so do we as fans, do you know what I mean? You've got to have players who are committed, so they'll play 110%. So, yeah, that's obviously that, guys. And, the thing with this international break coming up, we all hate, well, I do anyway. I despise international football, to be honest with you. I can never get into it, but I think it's come at a good time for us because it gives us a chance to get the off-field stuff done, i.e. players like Leia Asika and Obi Alari getting Leia Asika's visa sorted and getting them match fit, hopefully to come back against Bournemouth, which it'll be a tough game, and then it's Stoke in midweek. So we've got 2 hard away games coming up after Birmingham after the international break. So we've got tomorrow's game is obviously no games are a must win at the moment. It's still early days, but I certainly want to see a big performance throughout 90 minutes. The performance on Saturday against QPR in the first half was fantastic. We need to see that in the second half, and we need to put chances away. We put chances away in that first half against QPR. It's an all different ball game, and we go on and get 3 points in that, and it'd been a cracking 3 points. And it'll be tough against Birmingham tomorrow, but we have to take each game tough in this league. We know that. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. I will see you all down at Oakwell tomorrow, and yeah, really looking forward to the game as ever, and can't wait. So thank you for watching, guys. All the best to you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you all soon. You Reds.